Hey, we're live! Teklian,
There we
we're
go.
here. We have guests from Android Dissected. We have Cliff Wade, the crazy guy. He's going to take over the world. So,
what's up, everybody?
over here we have Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Hey guys.
Mike.
And Nick. What's up, Nick?
Blue.
And it is Android Dissected's first birthday tomorrow, so follow them on Google Plus and join in for the fun and go to their website. Get involved.
We're gonna be giving stuff away.
Yeah, giving stuff away.
All
That's why
day.
I bumped you guys up to my circle that I receive notifications from. Keep us on that.
Nice.
Giving stuff away, I'm there.
Man, we got it. We got it. You'll get a kick in the ass. That's what you get.
Is it free?
It can be.
It costs money.
It costs money sometimes, but
Does it come in gold?
well,
It comes in champagne.
comes in. Yeah, there you go.
Not gold, it's goldish.
It's bubbly.
Alright, so we're talking about Google, the Googleverse, working in Google. You guys use Google a lot for your stuff, for Android Dissected?
We do. I mean, obviously we use Gmail a lot. At one time we were using a Google Calendar. We've gotten away from that simply because at one time we had a bunch more writers. But you know, personally, myself, I still use Google Calendar for several things. Of course, our biggest following is on Google Plus. That's where we're at, 25 hours a day if we can be.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I'm sure we can relate to that.
absolutely,
Definitely.
absolutely.
We live on that website.
Yep. It's the place to be.
Yeah. Google invented a new hour so we don't use it more.
Our constant use of Hangouts to communicate with one another.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. Forgot about
Hangouts
that.
is really awesome.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
gotten
guys
really nice.
use Drive a lot, the Drive features, docs and everything like that to share stuff among each other?
Yeah, actually we do.
Wow.
We I have a lot of stuff that like what am I trying to think of? Like documents for new hire. Anytime we bring somebody new onto the team, our post guidelines, and then of course, you know, anytime that we're brainstorming, thinking of ideas and stuff like that, you know, we always try to put them in a Google Doc, and that way everybody can comment on them. And you know, and what amazes me is the real-time collaboration. I mean, I can sit there and watch Mike and Nick as they type their comments or, you know, thoughts out at the same time, and as they're putting their thoughts down, I can put my thoughts about their thoughts down.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
And that's just it's amazing what we can do in that.
That's we use Google Drive for basically deciding how we're going to do each episode and everything, and planning everything out. But we both are also avid users of Linux. So whenever, like, our lower thirds, especially our hat tip lower third, which changes every week, we always put that in copy, because copy has a Linux version, so we can just like get it right from the folder every time it changes.
Right.
So unfortunately, Drive doesn't support Linux, and it doesn't look like they ever plan to.
No, they mentioned it, you know, one time early on, and it's pretty much seems like that's as far as it's ever been, you know. And that's sad, because I myself am a Linux user of almost 13 years now.
Right.
I didn't even know Windows was still being made, but no, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's also kind of sad in the fact that I mean, they use Linux themselves, from what I understand, Ubuntu at their own buildings. They also, Android is Linux kernel, Chrome OS Linux kernel, and then no Linux support. They even got rid of Picasa for Linux, which kind of upset me.
Yeah, that didn't upset me, because I was never really a big fan of how Picasa. I mean, it was a good idea. I guess I just didn't like the interface and stuff. But I mean, I know a lot of people did use it, and I mean, it was interface aside, it was great. but it was the interface that got me, that I never could get into it that much.
I never used
Yeah.
Picasa either, but my wife did, and I was trying to get her to switch to Linux, and now she won't use it at all. She's like, "Oh, I can't edit my photos? No, I don't use it."
Right.
Nice. That's terrible.
That's all she did was Picasa.
She can use Google Plus to edit photos. I mean, it's,
I don't-
it's not as nice, but
I can't get her
Right.
to use that. She uses it basically if she needs to message me, and that's it.
nice.
If she's in
Really?
the other room and she doesn't want to come and actually talk to me, she'll pull up a Hangout chat, but that's about it.
My dad is right on the other side of that wall right there, and we communicate via Hangout all the time.
Yeah. I even I'm trying to get everyone to use like Hangouts that I can. I told my sister-in-law who
Oh, I
watches
know
all
it.
the time. I told her that my because I use GV for texting. I'm like, oh, my app doesn't work anymore. I don't know what's wrong, and I made her download Hangouts just to use that. The app's fine. It works perfectly fine. I just don't want to use it.
That's funny.
Yeah, I have a few friends that I've been trying to recruit to use Hangouts because it's just it's a beautiful app,
Yeah.
and it's so fast, much faster than MMS or SMS and
Oh,
MMS.
so much faster than
Fantastic.
MMS too.
Even MMS is so horrible. I hate MMS.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying to
so
get everybody
slow.
I can to switch over, and luckily
If
my
you're
wife
using-
is completely using Hangouts with me. But
Nice.
I would
So-
take an email attachment over MMS. Just,
So,
Yeah.
Wow.
So y'all are using, like, for instance, and I mean, I know the answer to this, but you know, for those out there that may not, I'm gonna ask this question as if I don't know. Y'all say that y'all are using Hangouts to do basically SMS, like to replace Go SMS or something. Is that correct?
yeah,
yeah.
Because a lot of
I-
people don't realize that you can use it like that. That they can. Somebody just came in my room while I'm on there. That a lot of people don't realize that you can use it in that instance. They feel it's just a quote unquote, I guess, a PC type or just a mobile hangout type of thing that you they don't realize that you can send pictures, that you can send links and all of that just like you can on a SMS application.
Mhm.
And that's personally, I don't use it like that. I don't know why. I just don't. I'm a Go SMS user, but I know the capability is there, and that's something that a lot of people don't even know that it's capable of doing that, and
Right.
they should know.
A lot of
Right.
people don't even know what it is. I talk to people. It's like, oh, let me give you. Do you have Hangouts? Do you have that app? Let's talk on that. They have no idea what it is. Like,
the great
Right.
thing about it is that it can easily replace your text messaging, your MMS, and everything, and then you've got your video chat. But then you can have it on everything. If I don't feel like responding from my phone and I'm sitting at my computer, I'll respond on my computer because I can type fast.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so
And it's
nice.
like they never see that you've changed devices, or now I'm on my computer, so message me from here. It's like
Right.
it's cross-platform, works on everything, and nothing changes. It works exactly the same everywhere. And
Yeah.
just yesterday, my wife was at work and I was home, and it started raining really badly over here, which is a big deal here because we hardly ever get rain. So I was messaging her and I was like, "Hey, it's raining." She was like, "Lucky." So I video chatted her just to kind of rub it in, like, "Look at that rain."
Look at it.
also it tells you like how far down the person you're talking to has read, and if it's multiple
Yes.
users, it's
Yes.
That is
and
so
it shows you
nice.
typing. Even if they're on the mobile device, it still knows when they're typing and will tell you.
So you know if you're
Our
being
Hangout.
ignored or not.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always nice because you can always say, if you've typed 2 or 3, sentences or whatever, you always know if the person that you're typing to has even seen it yet,
Yeah.
so then you're not sitting there like, hello, hey,
So you can
hello,
be sitting
you
there
out
like,
there?
you can be sitting there like, I know you read it. I know you read it.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
Why
ready
aren't you
to
responding. Do you not like me?
now.
Yeah,
You re-
He's
I
It
know
can
you read
also
all
be
these.
incriminating.
Yeah.
I do that all the time when I'm messaging Joe. I'll be like saying a couple things, and then I'm like leading up to kind of a cheesy joke or something, and I wait until he reads those, and then I send that last message.
Let me ask you,
amazing.
for those of you that use Linux and use Hangout within Chrome, I guess the dog uses Linux. He spoke up. Do y'all experience any kind of lag at all on the PC version of Hangouts? Like And it's just random. I mean, sometimes it's, you know, if people are posting images or YouTube links, sometimes it's just a random slowness. And it sometimes it may not be. Let's say you got 4 Hangout windows open. It may just be one, like a group chat. Do y'all ever experience anything like that?
I've experienced a couple times with YouTube videos, like you know, they'll post a link. You know how in Hangouts it shows like a little thumbnail of the video or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's play, and it'll take a while for that to load sometimes. I haven't really noticed it with anything else.
Yeah, it loads pretty quickly otherwise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I experience it quite often. It's here the last week or so. It hadn't been as bad as it once was, but it was like there for a while. Like especially like, you know, we have a group chat for Android Dissected, and you know, we got like 12, 13, 14 people in there, and you know, sometimes it's just like on my PC, it's just it's a crawl. I mean, to type a 10-word sentence takes 2 or 3 minutes sometimes. And, you know,
I get the issue sometimes in my netbook, but I always kind of just consider that because it's a 8-year-old computer. I didn't really, because it works fine when I use other computers. It's just that one computer.
That was what I was thinking about also. And my only other complaint about using Hangouts on my Linux machine versus using it on a Windows machine is that on Linux, you have to open Hangouts within one of your other apps, such as Gmail or Google Plus or whatever. When you're on a Windows machine, there's a Chrome app that will pop up your Hangouts windows anywhere on your computer. And
No,
Nick,
I have
time out, buddy. Yeah, I'm using it right now. On my left monitor right now, I have Google Hangouts, the video that we're in right now, the video call, and then on my right monitor, I have the user list, you know, of all the group chats, individual chats, and then you just get the Chrome extension, and it'll do that for you.
Oh, I tried to install the extension on my Ubuntu machine, and it said that this operating system wasn't supported. It said go away.
Maybe go away.
Go away. Maybe
you try again.
Maybe that's Ubuntu. I don't know.
I actually have the extension on my Ubuntu laptop.
Yeah,
I guess I'll have to look into it again.
I'm using Debian 7 right now, and I have it. So.
Nice.
Weird.
I'm on Fedora.
I wonder if it's all those things of Android's worst enemy's keyword, fragmentation. You can't build it for every operator, or for every machine that runs every OS, that runs everything, and have it working exactly the same on every piece.
Yeah.
Right.
I've actually been switching my distros a lot lately. I have a Ubuntu one over here in the corner, tucked away, that I stopped using, and then it was working. The extension was working when I had Debian, and then Fedora, and now I think I'm on Linux Mint right now trying this.
Mint is nice.
I love Mint. I've been planning on trying Fedora, but I love Mint. I was on that for the longest time. I was a huge Mint user, and I just switched to Debian 3-4 months ago.
I last used it when it was like Mint 7, and I was using it by installing it inside of Windows, and then I decided to try it again. It's kind of not, all my computers are so old though, so.
Well, that's the beauty of Linux. Old computers run like new.
It's slow, but it's definitely faster than if it was still Windows on here.
Sure.
So I'm gonna just kind of like jump us back to the rundown and everything we had for this episode.
Were we supposed to?
Yeah.
We're talking about the topic list over here or something.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this isn't Hangoutverse, so we're not gonna. But no, do you guys find Google Now helpful? Do you guys use that often?
Oh yes.
All the time.
All the time. Yep.
Google Now is amazing.
I love Google Now. I love the voice commands. I set my alarm every single night using it, but I hate the interface for picking out the cards, for choosing the settings.
Yeah.
I especially hate how it's kind of misleading where you go to the bottom and it says show sample cards, but really that's where you go to choose your cards. I mean, I really think it should just have like a settings option at the bottom, and then you do all of it from there. And it should have it a little bit clearer, cleaner set up.
Yeah, I've a couple of times had to explain to someone how to actually get to the settings panel within Google Now.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of users are pretty confused by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't make sense to them, and those who aren't confused by it are a little bit scared by it. Like, how did it know that I need to go home? Oh, well, it's super creepy. That's how.
I do love though how it pays attention to when you're searching, and if new relevant articles come up, it like sticks them in there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
That
really
is
cool.
nice.
also, one thing I found out that it does is my wife and I, we were like looking at houses not too long ago, and now every time I open it up, it says properties near Warwick, which is the city I live in, and I click that, it just shows me new ones that have been updated recently. So I love being able to go through and do that. I didn't have to tell it; just does it. And it's smart. That's what I like about it.
That's got to be from Google's acquisition of what company did they buy? Zillow?
Oh yeah, it's through Zillow. So
yeah.
Yep. So they bought that company recently, I believe, and so that must be where that comes from. But that's really cool.
Yeah. I also like the artist and entertainment stuff that it does. You know, it gives you information about music artists, entertainers, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and you
The
know
ones
that
that
kind
are
of
in your area.
yeah,
Yeah.
different stuff like that. Yeah, very, very nice. You know, because I mean, there's, you know, a lot of these artists will come to, you know, smaller venues, and you don't really hear about it. And you know, I've noticed a couple of times, you know, because I live in a very, very small town, but you know, I'm not too far from like Chattanooga. I'm like 75 miles from Atlanta. But you know, while we have big venues in Atlanta, we also have small venues in Atlanta. And you know, I've noticed a couple times I'll pull up Google Now looking for something else, and I'll be like, "Whoa, this artist is playing it where? I've never heard of this place. You know, it's a little tiny place, you know, or something like that." And that's you know, that's nice, you know, because you know, like you said, it's just stuff you don't really hear about. And that's something that they're trying to put out there and show everybody, you know, we're trying to get you connected with anything and everything.
That's cool.
That's definitely helpful. I just sometimes I wish it just did it a little bit sooner. I was using it once. It told me 3 days ahead of time. There's Lindsey Sterling playing at this like no-name place. Chris knows what I'm talking about. I love Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And I already had something planned. I had planned something just 2 days before. So if it told me the week ahead.
No, you cancel plans for Lindsey Sterling.
I don't think my wife would let me do that.
And the wife might get just a little suspicious.
Yeah, she doesn't like.
Deal with that later.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Deal with that later.
Deal with that after the show. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
We'll talk in a couple hours, honey.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive though. It does a good job.
Yeah.
I like really the nearby thing, like if you travel. Like last year for around Christmas time, we went to Hawaii, and it pulls up this grid of like all of these photo spots. It shows you all these like really awesome photos, and you can click on one and get directions, and you can go and see exactly where that picture was taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And once you live, excuse me. I said that's really cool, except for when you live right next to one of those places where there's lots of places to take pictures, so then you always are getting those things in your Hangouts. Or your
photo spots nearby. That's my backyard.
Oh, I should take pictures of the campus. That'll be a lot of fun.
That's pretty funny.
I like, I'm a big sports fan, and I like how, to be honest, a lot of times I can pull up Google Now quicker and get just the scores for the teams I'm interested in, even quicker than opening up like Chrome or something and pulling up a website. I mean, it's crazy that, I mean, you know, it all works about the same, but, you know, Google Now, I mean, I've got my team, and yes, I'm going to, you know, admit that I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates baseball fan. And you know,
so you're gonna get out of this hangout now? Just
well, I mean, sir, we're about to win our division, so for the first time in like forever. But yeah, I mean, it's just
really awesome.
You know, I can just, you know, quickly pull up, you know, the scores that I'm interested in of the teams. But then if I want to, you know, check out other scores, you know, then I can take a few extra seconds, open up my browser, and you know, check out everything else. You know, so
that's what I have. I don't really follow sports that much. I'll watch the occasional football game, but everyone up here is so into it. So I follow the Red Sox and the Patriots, the two local teams, and that way when someone bumps into me and they want to talk about the game.
Yep, that's exactly why I do it.
I know the score. I didn't watch it, but
Google Now can educate you.
Yeah.
I've done that so often. Somebody's like, "Oh, how are the how are the Jazz doing? I'm like, oh, the Jazz,
they're doing great.
They're such a team up there.
Right?
Their coach, that guy, man, he coached the crap out of them last game. I can see they won. Oh, man. That is so cool, right? Fist bump.
Yeah.
I made a friend. Thanks, Google.
Oh, my God. That's great. Yeah.
That's all I use it for.
Have either of you guys used Dragon? It used to be called a Blingo on the App Store, but now it's
Dragon Dictation.
Yeah.
Aren't they owned by Swipe now?
Yep.
Are they?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just I would love to see some features similar to that come to Google now. I know, just like the Moto X, they have an option for always on. It's always listening.
Right.
But my problem with that is when you have it set for always listening, you can't use any other mics on your phone.
Oh, wow.
And you can't listen to music.
Yeah.
Really?
At least that was the case with Utter. Whenever if you had read my article, you would.
I did read that. I knew that about it, but I didn't realize that the Moto X was like that too. I guess I missed that.
I don't know if that's the case with. Is that the case with the Moto X?
I don't know. I don't have the Moto X. I just know that's the way it is with Dragon.
I would imagine that. Google. I would hope that Motorola, thought of this beforehand.
Yeah.
But whenever the mic is listening, normally when if you're listening to music and you want to dictate a text message, it'll turn off the music so that it can hear you better, of course. So the issue with the always listening apps that are popping up now is that the Android operating system thinks that you're trying to talk to your phone when you turn on music. So as soon as you turn on music, it'll immediately pause it so you can talk.
Oh, wow.
So,
but also one problem I was having with Dragon is I don't know if it's actually a problem with Dragon or if it's just with Groove, but I don't have service on my phone right now, so I use Google Voice Group IP. And if I have Dragon set for always listening, I can't use the mic to talk to anybody when I get a phone call because it's always listening for my command. It's like hello. Then I have to hang up. Shut it off. Hope they call back, and I just deleted it. It wasn't worth the hassle. But
looks like you searched for hello. There's an entry for hello. No, Google.
Here's nearby restaurants by the name of Hello.
Yeah, exactly. Dragon's pretty cool, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Swipe's even going to do with it. I guess it's partially just because they want their own ecosystem rather than Google Voice Dictation, which I kind of don't get that in a way. It's kind of like Google's Voice Dictation is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Plus, like the no network required feature is pretty sweet too.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work, but
yeah,
when it does work, it's nice.
I would love to see a bit more of a personality on Google Now and Google Search. Just a slight bit, like maybe it just kind of says something to you or reacts differently when you say something about food or something.
Like, are you really going to eat that?
Yeah. I want to go to Olive Garden again.
How many times a week do you need to go?
Kind of
Might I recommend the Planet Fitness across the street?
Yeah, exactly.
If it just did something like that.
Because Siri does some fun little stuff that people love, and they're like, I'll never leave Siri for this.
Did you see they've added if you ask Siri, "Okay, glass," it'll respond and be like, "I think you have the wrong assistant."
Yeah. That's pretty funny. And it has multiple responses for when that happens.
Yeah, like 6.
Like, doesn't it have something about like the glass is half empty or stuff like that?
As far as glass goes, it's always half empty or something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Crazy.
I'll be interested for September when Apple releases whatever they have up their sleeve as far as possible glass competitor or watch or whatever.
Yeah.
We're 9 days off now.
Yep.
I'm excited for that gold iPhone. I can't wait.
And the champagne one.
Well, I gotta get both.
Here we go with the champagne again.
Chris and I were talking about this last episode. Like, we don't even care if it works. We just want the Apple logo, so you can point to it.
Exactly.
Just a nice shiny gold Apple logo.
Yeah.
I just imagine Steve Jobs is having a fit wherever he is right now.
Yeah.
Just like looking down,
iPad
going,
Mini, gold
What is-
iPhone.
gold? No.
Well, and
I feel
not
like-
just gold. I mean, aren't they going to have other colors too? I mean, aren't they
Yeah.
going to have like a pastel, like blue and pink and
That's the rumor. It's hard to say
Champagne.
without seeing
champagne?
exactly. It's hard to know without actually seeing it, but that's the exact rumor that they've been sharing.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I
I
don't
kind
know.
of find it funny now because you read Steve Jobs' biography, and Johnny Ive has a section in there where he was always kind of mad at Steve because he'd be like, "No, that idea kind of sucks. We probably shouldn't put that in." And he was just like, "Oh, I wish I was my own man. I wish he wasn't always on my back about that." And now you're looking at all this stuff that he's designing, and you're like, "Nope, you needed Steve Jobs. That's pretty obvious now. That is pretty obvious right now."
Well, he did get rid of skeuomorphism, which is
Yeah,
hallelujah.
I don't know. iOS 7 looked kind of weird to me.
Oh, it looks like a coloring book or something. Or
Mobile.
candy.
Mobile
But-
candy.
Candy. That's great.
Either way, strange stuff, and I don't know.
It's very Metro. Metro.
Yeah, it is very Metro. It's like Metro and Android 5 had a baby.
Would you guys, with the recent price drop of the Nexus 4, do you guys think there's a Nexus 5 coming out soon? Or I've also seen some articles of people thinking there's going to be a re-release version of the Nexus 4, sort of like how they did like a second generation of the Nexus 7. What do you guys think is more likely? You think Nexus 5?
For a $100 price drop, I feel like Nexus 5 would be the deal. If it was like 50 to 25, that would be like an
Next
S
gen.
edition.
Right.
But $100 would be
Whoa.
that full model.
I
But
agree.
I've
I
been
don't
thinking of
expect it to
switching.
be here until. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I've been thinking of switching to Nexus, and I was trying to consider should I just get the Nexus 4 at the price drop or wait to see if they announce a 5. Because one thing I'm hoping for is if there's another Nexus, it'll have always listening like the Moto X has, because that's the only feature I like about the Moto X. I mean, I don't really.
LTE.
Yeah, LTE would be nice as
definitely.
well.
I don't want a 5-inch screen though. I see a lot of people saying it'll have 5-inch. My Samsung S3 has a 4.7. Even that, I don't really like it too big for my phone.
Yeah.
I'll get a tablet if I want a big screen.
Yeah.
y'all want to see
Mega.
the green?
The Mega. He's got the Mega review.
Are you enjoying that?
I just got it. What'd I get it? 2 days ago, I guess.
Yeah, it was about 2 days.
And it's I don't know. It's. I mean, I've got the S4 sitting here too, and I've got the Nexus 4 sitting here. It's just the S4 with a bigger screen. To me, my viewpoint is it would be more for a business person that's always doing conference related stuff, videos, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of how they bill it. That's how they
Yeah.
build the S3, I believe. Or no, the Note 2.
The
The Note 2
2.
was kind of built that way because they were like, look at all this calendar stuff I can do. Now I
Right,
can tap on the screen
right.
and trace. Look at this
Right,
thing I
exactly.
just circled.
Yeah, to me,
That's
I
pretty
mean,
interesting.
I text message all day, every day, and sitting in a car trying to text message with this thing one-handed, no, it ain't gonna happen.
Not happening.
No, it's not, and I don't watch a lot of videos, especially now that I got Chromecast. I mean, it goes right to the TV,
Yeah,
I love Chromecast.
so
me
to
too.
me, it's not it's nice, but it's not practical at all.
Even
You
with the
fit
swap.
well in your pocket.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, in the back pocket. Seriously, no, honest truth. I mean, I tried. I guess I got it. What's today? Sunday. I got it Friday, and I went to put it in my front pocket when I went to go to work, and I was just like, no, this is not working. I mean, like the corner stuck up out of the top of
Oh
my
my gosh.
jean pocket like that much.
And I guess since
and-
you're not a teenage girl, that's not all that fashionable.
Right?
You should make a
Exactly.
video. You should make a video for our YouTube called Cliff Wears Pants. It's just all your pants you own. Which you're
Oh
just
my
trying them on and
God.
putting the
And
Mega
put the
inside
Mega
to
there,
see which
right?
one fits.
Exactly.
That'd be an amazing video.
That
I'd
would be
watch.
kind of cool.
Oh, that's
But
amazing.
it's just so. I mean, like I said, I mean it's nice. I mean, it's this is on AT&T. It's got I get 4G LTE speeds here.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean it's the phone, but I've got the S4, and to me the S4 is so much nicer. you know, because it's more that size that I want, you know. So
Yeah.
But I will tell you, and since we're talking about Google stuff, the Google apps on the Mega are absolutely beautiful. The screen is amazing. You know, it's so crystal clear. Um, I don't, you know, I don't know if it's just because of the size compared to the S4, even though they're both the same device. The app, everything just looks more real, more clear.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
so
partially that screen they're using too. They used a similar screen, I believe, to the S4.
yeah,
It's just that screen is pretty bright.
yeah, it
Pretty
is
vivid.
real bright, man. Real bright.
Vivid.
I mean, I could put it on the front of my van and use it for headlights almost. So, but yeah.
That's cool.
But back to the, I agree. I think the Nexus 5 is coming.
Yeah.
And
I just
to
wonder
be
who's making it.
to be honest, I really think that we're going to see a significant change in the next Nexus device. Not as far as, you know, there's not going to be no SD card slot. You know, none of that kind of change. Probably at first, at least, there won't be LTE. You know, because we all know how Google feels about that. But I think we're really going to see some Moto X type stuff.
Dedicated cores, maybe that would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, as much as we all want that and know it's coming, I don't think it's coming quite yet.
Yeah.
I think that'll be next year.
With Google being the way they are, if you'll notice, I wrote that article a while back, well, 2 weeks ago, pretty much when I first started on the site, about how Google Play Services is really being the update system, I suppose, right now, the update app. They throw everything on there. Like they threw a photosphere update across on Google Play Services. It was like that's a little weird.
Right.
It made it work better on like certain devices and just overall performance on every device. And so that was kind of strange. But a lot of people are rumoring because of that the Android OS version. Yep, I'm mixing them. Android OS 5. The 5th version of the OS is going to be more capable. In fact, I wouldn't be. There's a hope in my belly, I suppose, that there's going to be devices that are running 2.3 now that can run 5.0 because of how lightweight and easy the operating system will be to use.
Right.
Well, that's what the rumors have been.
That's what I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right about Play Services is really cool. I mean, because I was telling a friend the other day, who he's prone to losing things, and how the Android Device Manager had magically appeared on his phone, and I would show him how to set it up later. He's like, how does that happen? It's just Google magic. Don't worry about it. It's
right.
there.
It's just what they do.
No, actually, I have a question that maybe you guys can help me with for an issue I've been having. Kind of the Play Store changed a bit for the online, like web way it's set up, and now when I go to try to install an app from the web, the only phone that it shows up with is an old phone that I had about a year and a half ago.
Oh, weird.
But when I go to Android Device Manager, it shows my current phone only and not my old phone.
I'll tag you in on a post that I think Ryan Lestage did. I had the same thing. At the time, I didn't have my Galaxy Mega. All I had was my N4 and my S4. And one day, both my devices were listed there. The very next, only my Nexus 4 was listed there. There's some steps that you got to go through on like Google Services frameworks and Google Play Services, where you got to go in and clear all the data, and then reboot the phone, and then go back and set it all back up. And I mean, it's like probably like 7-8 steps, but it takes like 3 or 4 minutes, and that's with the phone. Yeah, and then it'll take can take up to like 30 minutes, and then your other device will eventually show up. Yeah, it's a very well known issue.
It is, yeah.
And unfortunately, this is something that we're probably going to have to deal with for a little while, because like what Mike mentioned in the beginning is a lot of these updates, or some of these updates, are starting to go through Google Play Services. We're going to start seeing more and more of that, and until Google gets all the bugs and the kinks worked out, this is probably an issue that we're all going to have to deal with for a little while as they push out new updates through Google Play services. Because like sometimes like right now I've got an issue, and I haven't gone in and corrected like Gmail. While like on my dash clock or on my icon on my home screen, I'll show where I have email, but I won't see it up in my notifications, and I won't get my sound saying that I have no, and that's all because of updates going through Google Play services, and it causes it to mess up, you know, and it happens randomly to some people, and you know, like if I have, you know, let's say the issue with Gmail, I may have it this time, I may not have it next time. And it happens randomly at various times to random people.
Yeah. Now, Chris, you were having like the opposite issue of me though with your Play Store, weren't you? It added actually a phone you've never even owned before in your life to your.
Yeah, I went to install something to my phone through the web interface, and there was this Samsung device on there, and I don't own any Samsung devices.
So here's a question. It was a Samsung Galaxy S2, and I bet you're running. That one, what's that app called where you can send your desktop to your TV through Android?
Chromecast.
No, the box one, Blue Box or?
Oh, I don't know.
Desk Box. Are you running anything like that by chance?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, really? Ah, darn. Because it uses the Galaxy S2 framework to run that app, and it's really weird. And everyone's like, "Oh no, I've got a mystery device. I've been hacked." No,
Yeah,
you've not been hacked. You've just installed a weird thing, and I think that's probably what's happened to you.
I'm not sure. I don't think I've had anything on here.
I can't remember what it's called. BlueStacks. That's what it's called.
BlueStacks.
BlueStacks.
I installed that on a computer to try it out. Maybe
that's what it is then.
Probably what that is.
The Galaxy S2.
There you go.
See, I saw this random mystery device and thought somebody got on my account, so I started sending all kinds of random apps to it.
That's really funny. Here you go, jerk.
Yeah.
Hey, take that.
Yeah, I've seen other
never
people.
Go away.
Yeah, I've seen other people have that issue too.
Yep. It hides itself as a GS2 for whatever reason.
That's weird.
They should really let people know in the I don't know, like their website or something. You will see a Galaxy S2. Instead, they're like, guess. Good luck.
Do any of you guys use Google Voice at all? I'm gonna get back and cover a couple different Google services.
Yes, sir, I do.
Yep. I know that's my primary line now. I use it for everything.
I completely switched over.
I'm not brave enough to do that yet.
Yeah, I like it. It works. I can text from it for the rare times I do text. I still am holding out and crossing my fingers. Hangouts will have SMS integration soon.
They keep saying it will. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, eventually we'll see Voice and Hangouts as one app, but
we will eventually.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice because it'd be really cool to get a text to Hangouts, or vice versa. Because my wife still has a dumb phone. The Moto X might be the phone for her because I showed her it can have a purple back with blue highlights, and she was like, "Oh, wait a second, this is cool."
I'm trying to get one of those for my mom, and that was the winning feature right there. You can have a purple back. Okay.
Right. Who cares about the specs or if it even works worth a damn? It's got a purple back. It's got to be.
It can do this. It can listen.
That's awesome.
Right. But
it'll listen to what you say. Doesn't matter. It's purple. Oh, good. Yeah. I want to get a case for her though, because her other qualification is that she requires a dongle. Something she can hang off her phone, that when she puts it in her pocket, she can pull it out really quickly. Plus, it looks cute. So,
that's great.
She requires that, which that doesn't happen on the Moto X, but you have cases enough these days that 8 or 9 of them have a dongle on them, so I think I've got her sold.
Nice.
And to think that they used to be built in.
Yeah. Japan still has them built in a lot. They love them.
I have my old. I used to have Helio, and it has a little bar, and I only used it because it drives me crazy when my screen is dirty, so I kept the little Helio screen cleaner that came with it, and I just.
Oh wow. Yeah, they thought ahead. Here's a fun fact about Helio, though. The lead designer of Android was the lead designer of Helio, so.
Wasn't the first Android phone supposed to be the Helio Ocean 3 or something?
I think so.
Before it was the G1?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. And then Helio, as the MNVO they are, decided to quit services, and they didn't do so
Merged
well.
with Virgin Mobile. Yeah, that's when I switched. I really loved them. It was simple.
Virgin hasn't used any of their stuff at all, though, really. They just use them for their towers, I'm sure. Their phones went the wayside, though.
Do you guys use Google Keep a lot?
No.
Nope.
It's kind of ironic. 'Cause they're like, I don't know. It almost doesn't make any sense. You can use Google Search to take a note with Gmail or Keep, and so logically, I'm going to go with Keep. But then I don't ever take notes with my voice, and if I ever want to tell something that I want a reminder, I can use Google Now or Google Keep. I'm going to use Google Now because it's going to tell me in a different manner. So it's kind of like they've got two apps that do, well, 4 apps or so that do the same thing, all of them just a little different. And so that always makes me annoyed. I want to use Google Keep, but I just can't.
Remember when we had messaging, Hangouts, Talk, then Google Voice? You had 4 different messengers at the same time.
Yeah, I'm working on, integrating them.
I'm kind of in the same boat with Keep. Like, I a lot of stuff I can do with Keep, I can do with Now, but the one thing I'm holding out for with Keep is the ability to share and collaborate like you can in Drive. Because I know Keep is part of Drive, especially with those lists, grocery lists with my wife and stuff. That would be really helpful.
Yeah, just a quick list.
Yeah, the lists are much better in that, I think, than if you make a list in Google Docs. So much easier to check things off.
The other thing that would be kind of nice is reminders in a way from Google Glass, because they don't have Keep in Glass yet. Strangely, they have Evernote in Glass, but no Keep.
Really?
So it'd be really cool to get Google Keep on there, because they have that video, the one-day video, the one they released a long time ago. And like, this is what Glass will be one day, and they've pretty much got it all. But the one they don't have is the Google Keep integration, because the guy goes, "Oh, that's cool. So and so's in concert. Remind me of that later," and he takes a picture of it. And it goes to somewhere in his cloud, and you never see it come back. But later on, that'd be something he would show in his phone, I'm sure, and he'd be like, "Oh, right, that's cool." But without Glass, I feel like that's just not helpful in a way.
Yeah.
Because Glass is that instant gratification of, okay, I just took a picture. Whereas on my phone, I've got a face to unlock lock screen, which then defaults to a pin to unlock lock screen. Then I've got to open my camera app, which I've got an HTC One, so it loads pretty quickly. But those 6 steps or whatever, I'm like, I don't care, I'll just remember later, and then I don't. So maybe I should, but I don't.
Yeah.
So Keep is cool, but I just don't. I'm having troubles with my use cases.
Yeah, I use it.
Then there's still tasks in Gmail, which I thought Keep was going to replace tasks completely, but
yeah, that would be solid if they did.
I don't want them to take away my tasks.
Well, if they took away tasks and merged it into Keep, so that everything was still there.
If they keep that related email feature in tasks, because I use that all the time. I'd go from an email and then create a note or create a task from it.
Oh, okay, I've never seen that.
That way, when you're going through your task list, you can click related email and it'll go right to that email that you made that task from.
Yeah, I've never seen it used very often. My boss at work uses it, but on Chrome and some of those apps, or I guess it's only on Chrome, they've got an app called Scratchpad. And not too long ago, they posted an update and said, "Scratchpad has become Keep." And I said, "What has become Keep?" And I was like, "Oh, it looks like Scratchpad went away to him." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty bummed about it." I'm like, "You're bummed about an app I didn't even know about?" And I'm like really in the know about all these apps. It's like if Google app comes along that I don't know about, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, what? You don't know? So it's kind of weird that this app that no one's heard of became Keep, and it wasn't a big deal for most people.
And that was just on Chrome?
I believe it's just on Chrome. Like I have it. I think I still have it. Yep, it's still there. It's called Scratchpad. It's on the Lenovo right now. But I think if I clicked on it, it'd do what Google Messenger used to do, where it would say, "Oh, you might want to try Hangouts now." Hangouts is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So So I mean, if they forced it onto people, people hate being forced onto. But if we've learned from Facebook anything, they don't care in the long run.
Yeah. Everybody flips out and then they're like, how did we survive without this?
Yep.
Why did they change it again? Oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree fully there. So we'll see what happens with Keep after Glass, because after Glass gets that app, because then I think it's really going to shine at that moment. Otherwise, I don't think they're going to have a lot of interest, I guess, generated with it.
No.
So, Cliff, do you use AdWords or AdSense or anything with your Android dissected?
Irony.
Funny you should ask.
Irony.
Right? I use AdSense. I've never really been an AdWords user, but I've got an AdSense account, and we just recently, with the addition of Alex Hernandez, and now really because of Mike, we're gonna start growing our YouTube channel, I hope. So we're trying to monetize it and stuff. And matter of fact, just 30 minutes before we started this hangout, we were having some issues with YouTube and AdSense, trying to connect the two so we can become rich and rule the world.
Famous.
That's the overall objective there.
Right. But to be honest, to really answer your question, I mean, I use it. I know about it. I certainly don't know the ins and outs and the tips and tricks and secrets, to becoming rich off of it, because I understand that there are, a lot of people out there that can make a lot of money off of it.
Yes,
And, I wish I knew that stuff. I want to know that stuff. One day I hope to know that stuff. And even, just since Mike's been here in the last couple of weeks, I mean, the whole monetize the videos and stuff, and, he's big on YouTube. So, I mean, he's teaching me a little bit, even if he doesn't realize that he's teaching me. He'll post some message about, YouTube and AdSense. I'll be like, Mike, where do you come up with this stuff? He's like, oh, well, click here and click here. And, it's, for anybody out there that's running a blog or a website or, anything, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't use AdSense. I know so many, a very, very large percent of people block ads, both on mobile and on PC. But there's a lot of people that don't. And there's a lot of people that will just sit there and click, not knowing what they're clicking on. And when they do, it's making those of us that have those AdSense accounts, it's making us a penny or two at a time. And those pennies add up eventually. So
quite heavily some days.
Yeah,
definitely. I think it's nice how Google's becoming more relevant with their ads. It seems like a year or two ago, they were really they just didn't make any sense. It'd be like,
absolutely,
you typed about this. Check this out. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But like on mobile gaming and things like that, they've added they do know a lot. That's true. I don't know. Just on mobile gaming and things like that, instead of ads that don't make any sense, they're posting things like, Target has an app. Check out the Target app. That's useful information to me. I shop at Target. That's not a bad idea. As opposed to like, you're playing Angry Birds. Do you want to buy a bird? No.
Yeah.
Especially bird.
Yeah, AdSense can be very useful. Like I said, definitely something I recommend to anybody out there. And I'm trying to learn about it as much as I can. What little bit of spare time I have, but it's definitely something that Google has had for a long time. That's worth it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think that's what we've been trying to get set up, like an AdSense type thing, haven't we?
Yeah,
we have it set up.
I have it set up on the blog. I'm pretty sure it's set up on YouTube. I'll have to double check that though.
Yeah, but like you said, we just make pennies. I think I never even checked. I didn't even know we had it set up.
I pretty much just kind of figured I'd set it up and just see what happens. Not really.
Eventually, one of you will get $100 check.
Yeah.
Right. Eventually.
Because that's the crappy part about Google is they only pay out every 100.
Yeah.
I've got 40 something dollars sitting in an AdSense account, and I'm just like, please send it to me.
I think
Really?
$20.
I think I merged this with you need to like use a phone number and all this other stuff, and I already had one set up for like on my personal account, so I just linked that, and I think there was already like 40 something in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I figured whenever it reaches the limit, so I can cash out, just cash out and split it.
Yeah. I got a Google AdSense check here about 2-3 months ago, and it was weird because it was actually from about a 2.5 year period of time, from another site that I once ran and owned, had built up a lot of money, and then all of a sudden, I stopped with that other site, and then when I started Android Dissected, I had actually forgotten about AdSense, and then one day somebody's like, hey, what about ads and stuff? And I'm like, oh, yeah, what about those ads? And, started using them. And, my only problem is if you're a WordPress user, trying to find a decent plugin that works with your ads can be very, very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one out there, I don't even remember the name of it now, but it'll work for 4 or 5 days, and then it'll break. It'll slow the site down to crawl, and then you uninstall it and reinstall it, and then it'll work again. And it may work for 2 days, it may work for 2 months.
Sounds like it's got a memory leak in the code or something.
Yeah, that's what it appears like. And so if you're a WordPress user, if you have any good ideas for AdSense plugins, please let us know.
Let everyone know.
Let everyone know.
It's kind of the secret.
It's one of those things where Blogger's really cool, but Blogger's not up to par. And with Google Plus being out there, Blogger doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
But you can throw ads on there, and it works really easy.
I like the integration with Google Plus comments in Blogger.
Yes, that is really cool.
They're not working on ours, though. I don't know what it is.
Oh, that's odd.
Well,
they're
not working. Wait, what's not working?
If I have Google Plus comments to be embedded into the blog.
Oh.
If I
install Comments Evolved.
But are you on a Blogger or WordPress?
Blogger.
Oh.
If you're on Blogger, I don't know why that's not working, because that's like a
yeah.
mainstay feature.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like if I choose the option to have the comments embedded on the actual page, it won't work. It'll tell you if there's comments, but it's only if there have been comments posted on Google Plus. But you can't see them embedded. But if I change the option to have it open as a separate page, it'll open separately, and then you can see all the comments like normal. But for some reason, they just won't embed.
That's odd.
That's really odd. I'm just checking mine right now to see if anything's changed, or because mine used to not do it. And I can't remember if I just thought, oh, I'll just forget about it, or if I actually got it working.
I know Blogger's working. I started like
it does look like
blog.
Mine works, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's really odd.
Yeah, I figured
That's
I'd
all
just
mine is on
change it.
Blogger, it's just a personal.
Damn, I want this phone.
Which one do you have that you're wanting?
Oh, the Note 3. Looking at the links next to it.
Ugh, not a fan.
Of course, I say that I've got a Mega that's not too much bigger than a Note 3, and I don't know. I think it might be too big.
Yeah, the Mega is 6.2, and the Note 3 is supposed to be 5.5 or 6.0? 5.7?
Yeah. Yeah, the Mega is 6.3.
What is it with you owners of websites?
What?
Every owner of a website that I've talked to is like, oh yeah, the bigger the phone, the better.
I don't agree, especially now that I have the Mega here. I don't like it. 5.7 might be okay, but I mean, because that's a half an inch smaller, but I don't know.
It depends on the bezels, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you see an S3 next to an S4, they are literally the same size, but the bezel is point something thinner.
Yeah.
I don't like bezel. There's TVs at my work that that look like it almost looks like they're floating in space in a way because the bezel's almost not there, and then against the background they've got them in, it's just kind of hanging, and so it really looks kind of cool because there's just show playing that's in really nice quality, and it's just kind of hanging there in a way. I mean, it is obviously hanging there, but without knowing that it's mounted to something, it really doesn't look like it's doing anything at all, but floating in a way.
A consumer with TV without a bezel looks really weird, though.
It kind of can be.
Yeah.
Mine has a huge bezel on my TV, but we got it for cheap, and I'm happy I have it. So.
Hey.
It does Chromecast. I'm happy.
Better.
I was worried.
HDMI.
Yeah, I was worried. I've got a no-name weirdo Apex TV. I went to a friend's house and they had a Dynex TV. It's the same interface, same exact thing. I was like, man, they really just mass-produce these TVs to look exactly the same and threw an EX name on the end of them. So I was a little concerned that I was concerned that my Chromecast was not going to work, and it plugged right in. It worked right away. It didn't try to display 1080p unless I'm casting a web page, which is kind of weird. And other than that, it works great. So
my biggest issue is the network complications where I live seem to just like completely throw Chromecast out the window.
I've heard about those. A bunch of reviewers said, when you take it to hotels, it's going to be awesome. And Google released a statement and a thing on their support site that said, unless the hotel supports a corporate router, which all of them do.
Right.
So, how many Chromecasts do you have? Do you just have one?
Yeah, I just have one. Yeah.
I've only got one TV.
Yeah, I've been considering getting a second one and getting a second TV. But the thing I've been wondering is, I've noticed that when I cast something, say, from Netflix to my Chromecast, and then I like restart my phone while it's running, when I reopen the Netflix app, it automatically connects and tells me I got something on Chromecast playing, and it operates as the Chromecast controller.
Right.
So what if my wife and I had two different devices connected to the same Netflix account? Would I not be able to cast two different videos to two different Chromecasts? Because it's automatically
two different. Yes, if you had two different Chromecasts, you can. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Name the Chromecast different names. So
it'll name.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll show the name of each one you have.
Yeah, I knew that. It was just because it automatically becomes the controller for the Chromecast that's already working.
Right.
I didn't know if it would automatically be overridden by the fact that she's already playing something.
Problem.
No. It would probably just pop up a little window and say, which one do you want to do this with?
Yeah, probably. Because right now I only have one, so maybe that's why it's automatic, so I only have one. Maybe if I had different ones, it would...
That's the only thing I missed about the Nexus Q is that Nexus Q did device management a little bit better. If I'm trying to log into my Chromecast from 3 devices and set up a queue of items, it doesn't do that so well. It seems to want to take over whatever device is on right now. And so I try to set it to the queue, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to play this now. No, queue that up for next. And so me and my wife can't queue YouTube videos up very well.
See, I think with the Chromecast, the way that it works is that when it's going over your Wi-Fi network, it's actually assigned its own IP number, and I think it associates your device to that IP number. So, like you say, if let's say, you reboot your phone, you and your wife are both watching a movie on a different Chromecast on a different TV, and you reboot your phone. When it reboots, I believe it's probably going to do just like it does now, but it's not going to ask you anything about her device because your device is associated with that IP number of the Chromecast that you were casting to.
I think that's also where the hecticness of the app comes in, because the app has which Chromecasts are available to you, and so I think you'd have to click through each Chromecast to go to a new Chromecast to figure out how things work that way, I believe. I could be wrong because I don't have 2, but...
Did you ever get your Chromecast extension working in Fedora, Cliff?
No. But the reason being is because I don't have a wireless card in my PC, so mine's hardwired. And
no, that doesn't have anything to do with it. My computer is hardwired too, and when I'm on Windows I can do it, but when I'm on Linux I can't. It says no device found when I'm on Linux.
Right. Yeah.
I bet it's something to do with Linux and hardwire.
Yeah, maybe. That's what I've heard, and I don't really have a lot of interest. Because if I can go to YouTube and cast something, from my PC to my TV, I mean, I can pull it up on my device just as easy. You know, the only advantage would be, when the point comes and I mean, it can do it now, but like local files on your computer.
That's the only time I use
cool.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an advantage. But again, I don't ever do that. I have no. I don't have anything on my computer that I can't find on the internet.
That's my biggest problem with the Chromecast, and why for now it still can't replace my PS3. Is it's horrible for playing back local files.
Really?
I still use my PS3 mainly for that because I have a lot of things on my computer that I like to watch.
As soon as Koosh is allowed to do so, I think he's probably already got an app set up and ready to do so.
Yeah.
It works from Android wonderful. I don't have I've never had a problem with it. I played all the videos on my phone, no problem, really no lag.
Talking about Aircast?
Yeah, well, Allcast, Aircast. It's now called Allcast with DLNA. Because that
he's
was the only
changed
way
it again?
Well, that's the only way he couldn't get sued.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And speaking of Koosh, happy birthday. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday to that man.
How ironic.
If somebody's
Thank
not,
you,
if
Google
he's
now.
not, if he's not watching, and somebody knows him that's watching, tap him on the shoulder and let him know we care.
Exactly.
I was using Bubble UPN before to play local media on my device, and I saw a YouTube video about how they already have it, like working and stuff in an app ready for when Google releases the what's it called, the SDK or something like that.
The proper SDK.
Yeah. Yeah. But until then, they legally can't release the app. But they had it working that everything you select will automatically play to the Chromecast.
Yeah, they had it working really cool.
Nice. Yeah, it'll be nice once Google releases the SDK and gets it out of beta and says, "All right, y'all are free to do what you want."
That'll be wonderful.
That will be really cool.
Maybe by then I will actually have a Chromecast because I'm left out of this conversation. I'm the only one here without a Chromecast.
Wow.
I don't know why you're not at Best Buy right now just looking for one.
Right.
I've heard that if you buy them from select Best Buys, those select Best Buys
still do the Netflix thing.
Yeah, they still have the Netflix codes.
You can get it online through Best Buy, and you can even get it via Amazon sometimes.
Google allocated certain ones to certain places, and so they sold out so fast in round 1 that round 2 has not been able to deliver those Netflix codes.
Yeah.
So that's really cool because that makes the device $11.
Yeah.
And how can you say no to $11?
It's
really hard for that device.
Right. But to be honest, in all fairness, for when I heard $35, I mean, how can you say no to even $35?
Yeah.
For what it does.
I can't remember who said it. I think it was somebody on Google Plus. All they should have done was come out with the Nexus 4, have the video playing over like a loudspeaker or something, and be like, man, I wish I could show the people this. Touch the button, had it Chromecast, drop the mic, display $35, and walk off.
Right.
That's all they would have had to have done. And the whole fan base would have been like, oh my gosh, what is this? Where can I buy this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Chris, you were telling me about what is it, CyanogenMon? How they actually, when the SDK becomes available, they actually have it built into the ROM itself, the ability to play anything to Chromecast, right?
Yeah, I believe that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. I'm right now using AOKP, but I would switch to Cyanogen for that.
I love Cyanogen.
It'll be an AOKP stuff because they just take.
It'll be in every other ROM out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that. I've got a Nexus 7 waiting, the old Nexus 7 waiting for that because it does things here and there, mostly Simpsons tapped out, but that would be my most I'd probably use that for Chromecast. Pretty much all. That's all. That's it. I'm also waiting for the time when I can cast Simpsons tapped out to my TV. That would be a lot of fun.
Now, we have both Mike and Nick. You guys are both using Chromebooks, right?
No.
No? You guys have Chromebooks or something?
I have a bunch.
I thought I was talking to one of you about Chromebooks before.
That's Mike. He's got like 25 of them.
Do you find them very functional for like everyday use outside of like the programs that you need a regular computer for?
It really depends on whose everyday you're talking about. Yeah. I've tried to talk my dad into it a numerous amount of times, and he's like, well, what about QuickBooks? What about Quicken? Can I use QuickBooks and Quicken?
Mm.
I'm like,
And
no,
then
you
were
really
like,
can't.
crap.
And I try to tell them about programs like Mint and stuff like that, Mint.com, where they have all your financial stuff online, and they even like tap into your bank a little bit, so it gets an even deeper integration, which is a little scary to think about, but
It
you know,
is
it's
scary.
there.
My wife and I were using that for a while, and it's very
I don't-
handy, but it's kind of crazy. It's like you
It
guys
was
are
weird.
really in there looking at every little thing, like
Yeah.
showing me a graph of how much I spend on restaurants. I don't care. Don't tell me
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't want to know that.
It's depressing.
And so like, that doesn't fall in. However, my wife has not used a PC, Mac, anything but a Chromebook for 9 months. That's it. That's all she's ever used for 9 months.
I'm
So
thinking my wife would love one.
She successfully used it with no problems. I, on the other hand, have had to switch back to the MacBook for Photoshop every now and again, but other than that, I've not switched away from a Chromebook either. So.
Yeah, I don't see myself needing anything but a Chromebook if I eventually get one, except for when I'm pre-recording stuff for stuff we do for the show, or when I'm editing photos and everything like that. Other than that, everything I do is already in the cloud online.
I really just keep waiting for Google to buy a video editing app.
Yeah.
And have it go cloud-based and just have it be really nice.
Yeah,
I just keep waiting for that day because I don't know what's going to happen.
Do you foresee, even if it's like 2 years down the line, anything like Android Chrome OS integration, so I'd be able to access my apps from like a Chrome OS?
I sure hope not. I want them to stay different. That's just me. I've heard a lot of people don't want them to stay different. A lot of people would rather play this and that on their phone from their PC. I see different integration. Not necessarily Chrome Android or something, or not the same thing. Not the same thing. But I can see them integrating in a different way, just because it's Google and everything already integrates in that different way. I think we're going to have an interesting fall 2013, personally. I just keep hearing about Chromebooks that are coming out. A long time ago, some website said, "Oh yeah, Acer, Asus, and some other company are pretty dedicated to Chrome now." And then we showed that recently when Acer, Asus, and some other company left Windows 8 because it was a failing platform. In fact, one or two of them said they were completely dedicated to Android. I can't remember which ones they were though. And that article just kind of went, in Monday and left Friday, and nobody ever talked about it again. It's kind of like, that's really weird for nobody to really mention that. It's kind of a big deal.
Big deal, yeah.
For them to leave this monster of a platform for an up-and-coming growing platform it's stable, but it's not. Google, that is. You just never know when Google's going to be unstable. Google Buzz speaks to that. Google Wave speaks to that. We're seeing a little bit of that with Google Keep right now, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't really know if I could ever switch to a Windows 8. Like, I really want to get a new computer, but I feel like if I did, I would get rid of Windows 8 and put Linux on it, side booted with Windows 7 just for when I need Photoshop. I never could get Wine to work correctly.
It's not that bad. And you get used to it. Really.
No, I believe you.
I
believe you. It's just funny.
And the battery life on my laptop improved drastically after I installed Windows 8.
It's faster now too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I have no complaints with it except for Metro UI is stupid, but you don't have to look at it for very long.
That was my thing too. Like I installed the what was it? It was the consumer preview version, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I installed it on a really old laptop, and it booted up faster than any other computer. And it seems like if you don't want to see the tiles, you just go to the desktop and you don't have to look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've heard Windows 8.1 is going to fix that even further.
Yeah, like boot straight to desktop, I think, yeah. Looking forward to that. It should be happening very soon, actually.
Yeah, the leak's out. That was very stable. Yeah, I personally, I'm just a huge fan of Chrome OS, just how that works, just their whole ecosystem. Plus, like I said, I really think they're going to do something this fall. I don't know what. Excuse me. The man over Chrome OS is now over Android as well, so of course we're going to see some integration, some design similarities. I don't think we're ever going to see a desktop on Chrome OS with tiles or anything. Live tiles as the main They're not live tiles. I guess in a way, I guess that's how Google's operating. They've got tiles as well. They just don't really point them out as heavily as Windows 8 Mobile. So I just don't think we'll see that on Chrome at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to switch my wife and I eventually over to Chromebooks, especially with the very reasonable price point. The Pixel a little bit out of my range.
Sure, it's out of everybody's range.
Yeah.
But the 3 terabyte of cloud storage.
Yeah, that's...
Which I stole from them when I reviewed it.
No.
Yes, indeed. It was amazing. 1.1 terabytes. There's nothing like that when you open Drive. Right. You've used nothing still, technically.
Yeah,
keep filling this thing up.
Every time I get a new review unit, I always go looking online. Okay, do I get any more Dropbox or box storage space?
Those punks at Dropbox have started associating them with Gmail addresses now. And so I sign into Dropbox and Box, and it doesn't give me anything additional because my email address is already received.
Exactly.
50 to 80 with each.
Yeah.
And so every time I got an HTC device, I was like, oh, cool, free Dropbox.
Yeah.
And some of it's already expired because some of it's been over a year and a half ago since I've done that.
I know I use Copy a lot right now, and I like that. Right now, if you have a sign-on, 15 gigabytes for your sign-on, and you get an additional 5 gigabytes whenever you get someone to use a referral link.
Yeah.
I'm at 25 right now. Chris is at like 130-something gigabytes, right?
Yeah, I've got
way back there, man.
I've got
way down there.
I've got about 137 gigs of storage. I've used about 20 so
really
far.
Cool.
I set it up every time I change my Linux distribution on my computer or anything. The first thing I do is I just install Copy and just let it sync overnight, and I just work completely out of my sync folders, so I never lose anything.
So cool.
That is nice.
I use Copy, but I have found like on the PC that it can be kind of slow if you have a lot of folders and stuff like that. You know, the interface, and I've heard other people talk about it as well. You know, like for instance, I mean, I have somewhere like 12 gigabytes of stuff in Dropbox, and I put it all on Copy, and you know, I probably got like 40, 50, 60 different folders of stuff. And I mean, the interface trying to, like, I just pulled it up right now, and it's froze up the tab because I've got so much stuff. You know, I've got 18.4 gigabytes is what I'm using of 405 gigabytes available.
Are you using the web interface to upload?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about just to visit the web interface. It freezes the tab. Period. I mean, as soon as it pulls up my files, and then the tab just freezes. I can't scroll. I can't click. I can't do nothing.
Yeah, I had a few problems with the web interface. I was trying to upload a large file from a computer I didn't have it installed on, and it just it froze every time.
I think that's one of those things. If you're corporately owned like Google, and you've got a server for every person in existence, plus 2 backups for each person in existence.
Right.
They're able to do stuff like that. If you're a new company like Copy, you've got to wait for people to buy your stuff. And if people don't buy, then you've not got corporate funding. And until you get more users, it's hard to be like, hey, somebody should invest in us. Because otherwise it's like, why should we invest in you? You're just another website that does just another same thing.
Right.
So I'm sure they'll get better, because I seem to remember Dropbox being real sucky in the first few days.
I mean, I'd love to use Copy. Like I said, I got 405 gigabytes of space that I can use, you know, but I can't. You know, I'm always at my PC. You know, the only time I'm not at my PC is when I'm at work, and I try not to work if I can. But, you know, so I'm always at my PC. So that's, you know, for me that's big. You know, to be able to use the web interface and stuff like that, because I'm in Chrome all the time.
Yeah, it's hard not to be in Chrome. People that are still using Internet Explorer, I usually laugh at them. And
right.
People still use that?
I was having issues with our Hangouts, and my lower third not working. I even resorted to opening Internet Explorer to try to see if it...
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah.
That's when you get deep into it. You're like, okay, I got to figure it out.
I went to the YouTube page.
Make sure when you go back and edit the video, you take that part out where you admitted that.
I went to the YouTube page to see. I was like, all right, let's try Internet Explorer, see if the Hangout thing works in there. And it said, you need to install Flash Player. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Forgot that crap wasn't built into this browser.
I'm hoping that day's going to go away.
Every time I get a new computer, the first thing I do is open up Internet Explorer and install Chrome. And then I never use Internet Explorer ever again.
Yep, that's how you should do it.
I had a computer once. It was Special Edition HP Pavilion. I forgot the number. I got it in 2008. It was like brand new at the time. I got it because I was going to college, and Internet Explorer would crash the computer. I could only have it took me 4 tries to get Internet Explorer to stay open up long enough for me to download Mozilla, and then finally someone downloaded it on their computer and gave it to me on a flash drive to install. Literally, Internet Explorer would crash the computer every time.
That's pretty
That's a feature.
The computer was made for crashes it.
That's a special feature in Internet Explorer.
But I never had any problems once I stopped using it.
I want to see the patch they released that says now crash proof. Wasn't it supposed to be before?
It was pretty funny. I was helping my dad with stuff. He was having issues with eBay, and I couldn't figure it out either. So I knew I had to call customer service. And,
oh no!
And they said, "What?" And they, of course, they're geniuses. And they said, "What browser are you using?" I said, "Chrome." Duh. And they said, "Why don't you try opening Internet Explorer and seeing if it'll work in there?" I almost wanted to just tell them no. Because why in the heck would something work in Internet Explorer anymore that the Chrome can't do?
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, we have like 4 operating systems running on WebKit, and most Internet Explorer versions not. I believe 10 does now, finally, but it's still like a crossbreed of like Java WebKit hell. It's pretty disgusting, I've heard. Same thing on the Windows 8 phones. Like they're supposed to be, I believe the new Windows 8 phones are supposed to be running a new version of Internet Explorer, but I just can't tell because it's so deep-seated in me to hate it that I'm just like, I can't do it. I just can't. And so I purposely, like, if I need to web search anything and a Windows Phone 8 is on me that I'm reviewing, I'm just like, nope, can't do it. Can't search. Can't do it. Just, it's terrible.
That is one thing that you might want to address, using Google Apps in other platforms, like in iOS or Windows Phone. I mean, I really don't have any experience with that, but you may have more of that.
Neither do I, because Windows Phone 8 doesn't have any.
Oh my god.
Ooh, that was an awesome noise.
Wow.
I think Microsoft heard us bad talking. Send a blip over that one.
All right.
No, but Windows Phone 8 does not have Google Apps, so there's nothing to speak of there. There's no experience to have. iOS, on the other hand, is supposed to have pretty good integration. It's weird, but it's good.
There you go. I don't know, because I don't have any iOS objects that are Windows Phone is completely foreign to me, but, you know.
Yeah. I can tell you my friend switched, decided he missed Android and is going to buy an HTC One as soon as he can afford it. So they weren't that good. They were good, just not wonderful or anything.
Okay.
And I think it's one of those things where the iOS fans, I mean, honestly, there's people that I understand iOS is for. I get that. It exists. They're out there. But for the most part, I think a lot of the people bad-mouthing it haven't used them on an Android experience, and so they just don't know how they can and can't work. Like my friend had like we were just talking about Google Now before at the very beginning, and my friend and all of my friends I was hanging out with last night, I felt like so left out in the dark because they all had iPhones. And in fact, it went 4S5, so that's kind of funny. I wanted to tell them really badly to use Google Now because they would get their sports scores really quickly, and without having to check Siri and without having to check a special application. But I just couldn't. I don't know. I just couldn't find a moment where they weren't bad-mouthing Android, I suppose. Enough to be like, use this wonderful Google service that is pretty easy to install on your phone.
Does Google Search have push notifications in iOS? You know?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. They have a notification center now, so it might show up there. I'm not sure how that works.
Right.
Either way, though,
It's a mess. Their notification center is a disaster.
It is pretty nasty. They've got 2 now. With iOS 7,
Now
they've
you
got
have-
2 notification centers. One from the bottom and one from the
control
top.
center.
Wow. Call it
Is it
what you
the
will.
quick toggles or something from the bottom?
Yeah. Looks like a Samsung device backwards.
Yeah.
Upside down.
And silvery. So you pull that screen open and it's silver, and then if you've got a multicolored background, it's silver with a slight what am I trying to think of? Oh, what's that called on Photoshop? Just when you make the layer so it's less visible, I guess. So it's got like a
Opacity?
70%. Yeah, opacity. So it's got like a 70% opacity. So if you've got like a rainbow background with this silver thing that pops up, it's like this weird metallic drug trip, I guess it would be.
Well, isn't that what iOS 7 is anyway?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
whole interface.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine people taking acid, and then getting on their phone is like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? How do I make any phone
That's
call
great.
at all?
That's great.
Oh, it's pretty funny. I don't know. There's plenty of people that like it, though. It's like, maybe I shouldn't badmouth it too much. But I'd really like to get an iPhone. I've talked to many people and said I really want an iPod next gen so I can run iOS 7 and probably iOS 8. That's the funny thing with Apple nowadays is that they've got more fragmentation than Android.
Oh,
You
But
get iOS 8, you just won't get the real iOS 8.
right, it'll be a multi-weird functioning version. But I'd love to
Right.
get like an iPod for that, so I can at least know what I'm talking about when I bash people, or
Right,
when I
right.
say, oh yeah, the Google apps do this, or the Google apps do that. The only problem is I've got a car that came preloaded with an iPhone port, and the iPod newest one is slender like the iPhone 5, and so it's a little taller, and so I've got first world problems in the fact that I would need the adapter to make it so it goes to the new adapter that they've put in the iPhone 5 and the iPod newest, whatever it's called. And,
Lightning
it would-
port.
The lightning port. It would stick like this much above the console area where it usually is, whereas my iPod old school is flush with that. It was only ever made for an iPod old school, but my main thing is that I'd love to come home and have my Mac sync new songs that I've downloaded with the iPod with no problem because it's using Wi-Fi finally. And like I said, the other thing that'd be great is really just showing friends, hey, look, this app works the same on Android as it does on Apple, except on Android it does this, and this differently. So check this out.
And app integration.
Yep, app
I've
integration.
been wanting to try an iPhone just so I can actually use the device, just to know what it is I'm hating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I actually still haven't, with the exception of like tinkering around once with our friends, I actually haven't used an iPhone as a device. I just look at what it does, look at what my phone I have can do, and I decided it's not for me.
That
Well,
app
it was a
integration
couple of
alone is
times.
the reason for me.
Our Google app
Exactly.
integration is beautiful. I mean, really any app integration. The fact that I can take a picture and send it to Evernote without opening up the Evernote app and then uploading it, because that's what you have to do on iOS. Everything
Exactly.
requires you opening the app and then uploading it that way. Our ecosystem is. I mean, you can do the. I mean, we saw with Kush's app, Allcast, Aircast, whatever, Kushcast.
Kushcast.
He actually said that he's never going to call it Kushcast because that name is so horrible. He's been quoted saying that, so if he ever does now, he's going to get a slap in the face, I'm sure. But that app he's got is all it takes. Oh well, the first rendition, all it was you'd share something with Allcast and it would work. He's modified it slightly since then, but he threw that feature in there. It's just like that's really kind of cool. All you have to do is that.
Right. And you could never do that in iOS.
No, you'd have to open up the app and then have the video shown up. And it's just, I don't know, whatever.
I was demonstrating that to somebody once, and I was able to just go to the camera, take a picture, share that picture to one app, edit it, share it from there to another app, and do something else to it, then share it to a social network. And
Wow.
it's like you don't have to go to each individual one and open them, and it's like you could just send it right from one app to another.
I know I do that a lot with you. I'll take like a picture of the camera, and then like as soon as it pops up in the gallery, or I use Quick Pick now instead of the gallery, I just hit share to Hangouts, and I can send it to you right away.
Yep.
Or sometimes if it's a screenshot, I can share it to I can share it to device frame generator, and then it'll pop up in my notification bar, and I pull it down, and actually have a share option right there in the notification bar, and I'll share it to you in Hangouts from there, or Google Plus, or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or
That's
you
really
guys,
cool.
any of you guys use Snapseed, like for touching up
Yeah,
pictures?
Snaps is really cool.
Oh yeah, I'll take a picture, share it straight to Snapseed, and then from there share it right to Google Plus or something. Oh.
Yeah, I like Snapseed's interface. It's another one of those apps like Picnic I could see going away eventually, and just being completely 100% integrated into Google Plus. But it's really cool for now. It's got a sweet interface.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
It's a good job.
It's all gesture based.
I'm gonna pull us back to some more of Google's other services. But what do you guys? Yeah. What do you guys think of like Google offers in Google Shopping? I mean, with Groupon and Amazon, I always use those two in place of those. Yeah.
I have no thoughts on those, other than that every now and again I remember that Google Offers exists.
Yeah.
And
I never used Google Offers.
And until Bing helped Google so much with this whole Bing it on, Google Offers sucks, Bing search is awesome, because nobody knew Google Offers existed and Google Shopping existed. And then Bing is like, it exists and you hate it. And they're like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Thanks, Bing.
And now they use it, yeah.
I remember I go through Groupon once in a while and occasionally sometimes get stuff from there. I check Google Offers, but I remember I was using Amazon Local, which is like their version of it at one point.
Oh.
Or I was trying to, and I got the app, and I live in Rhode Island, which is the smallest state, and they don't have it listed. It asks to choose your location. Rhode Island is not an option. It's
that's really funny.
You don't exist.
United States, but Rhode Island. And it's just that happens to me sometimes too. I'll be applying for a job, and they forget to put Rhode Island on the list when you're looking for a location to apply to. I've actually had a few jobs like that. I go through their application process, and it's like, do I put down Massachusetts? That's next to me. I don't know. Like, it has a drop-down list, and you can't put Rhode Island.
That's really funny. And
used
terrible.
Google Wallet a few times.
I like Google Wallet.
Google Wallet's cool.
Can't figure out and it's kind of nice because Google Offers is integrated into Wallet now. So again, that you're forced to remember it exists that way. I've never used an offer though.
Does T-Mobile allow you to use Google Wallet yet? Because I don't think I can use it yet.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I'm with Sprint though, and I've been with Sprint since they launched Wallet. So I was
T-Mobile won't let me download it. I can't even download an APK and get it that way. Like it just doesn't.
I'd say you can use ISIS Wallet, but ISIS Wallet's only available in 2 states right now. I happen to be in one of them, and they probably wouldn't recognize your state, period, since they'd forget it.
Right.
Now available in all 49 and a half states.
Yeah.
49 states in Puerto Rico, but not Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. 49 states in Puerto Rico.
Or they just consider Puerto Rico as a state, but not Rhode Island.
Yeah.
All 50. Cool.
All 50 states except Rhode Island.
That's amazing.
No, I really want to use Google Wallet, especially when I first got the S3, and I knew Google Wallet existed because I wanted to use it back when I was on Sprint, but I didn't have NFC. And when I got my S3, I was like, oh, NFC. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go download Google Wallet. It's like, it's not in the App Store, so I go online. I try to download it from the Play Store, and it goes not compatible with your device. I'm like, what the fuck? So I did some research. I found out it's apparently like T-Mobile is working with AT&T or Verizon or something to make ISIS. And
all 3 of them. Yeah, all three of them together.
They all block Google Wallets in favor of ISIS.
Chase Bank has signed with Google or with ISIS now, which is terrifying to me. Like, it'll make it so they're like nationwide, but it's just Chase is a scary company.
Yeah.
If you can try to go ahead, sorry. If you can try to get the Google Wallet app on your phone at some point soon, because I think that they're trying to make it go the way of Reader, unfortunately.
I still don't think so. Just because there's one thing that makes me not think that. If it is going the way of Reader, it's going to be in something else, because in the newest Google Now update, they have a thing for Google Google Card Wallet or something like that. Google Card Keeper.
Oh, did that come back to it? That came in through the new Google Now update, you said?
Yep.
Because I remember a while back, maybe it's probably been 6 months ago or more.
Yeah.
That card popped up in an APK for Google Wallet.
Where is it?
And Ron Amadio of Android Police tore it down and found out about it. And he, was all excited about it, and I was too, because that would have helped a lot with usage. Because not everyone has NFC on their phone, but everyone can have a universal card in their wallet, and it's wonderful. It saves space in my wallet
here.
Not to have 50 different cards.
Loyalty programs, that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
And so Apple has one right now that's like card programs or card wallet or something like that, and it doesn't get used very often, but it's for like your Starbucks card and your 7-Eleven card. Luckily, a lot of companies have made it so they can read. I guess it's actually manufacturers that are making it happen. Because back on my Evo 4G LTE, or I guess it's WiMAX LTE, whatever they want to call it, that phone did not. You couldn't read the screen. It just wasn't happening. Those lasers would not read the pixels because they were they weren't dense enough. Now I can take my newest phone, the HTC One. Not confused with the 1S or the 1X or the 1V or whatever, the actual HTC One, and with the 469 pixels, it does not have any problem scanning, and I can scan multiple things on there. I think that'd help a lot of companies as well if they had like a loyalty programs thing, because they can get rid of their app, stop using server space or something like that, and just use Google's loyalty thing and just have this unified thing that probably would merge or mix with Wallet somehow or replace Wallet.
Google will be happy and the companies will be happy. It'll be wonderful.
Exactly. So
I'm gonna step aside for a second, guys.
Oh, that's fine.
All right.
Come back soon.
Hurry back.
Now let's talk about him. No. Because this is recorded, so that won't work.
Right.
He's going to go back and be like, oh, they were going to attack about me.
I'm blaming it all on Mike.
Right? That's not a bad idea. That's pretty funny. I don't know. I don't think, just on that same, I just don't see Wallet going away completely. With the big shebang they had at I/O 11, and I/O 12, I believe. I/O 11 was like wallet-centric without you knowing it.
Yeah.
Everything you could do at I/O 11 was hugely wallet. You could play a crane game with your Google Wallet. They did pay purchases, so you could walk up and get one of 3 items. One of them was Google headphones that I still have. Well, I have the bag for it. The headphones are long gone. But the bag still, and it cost like a penny. And I think they ended up, I don't remember how they did it. I want to say they debited you a penny. Like they gave you a penny so that you could buy this item. And then it would just kind of take it back out in 2 days. And so it was like a hat, a bag, or not a hat, like a bag that's like a drawstring. I want to say a pen and headphones. So I was like, all right, headphones for me.
Speaking of... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. The only reason that I say that is because I've been, obviously I follow all this stuff all the time. They've been talking about how Google just hasn't been able to get the information that they originally thought that they were going to be able to with Wallet. Because, they don't charge anything to users, and, obviously the stores aren't paying anything for it. So at the end of the day, they need to be able to get information about you from the app, or it's no use to them, because they're spending a lot of money on it.
Yeah. I actually see the rise of ISIS being the rise of Wallet, because ISIS is paying all this money to put PayPass terminals in all these stores, and Google's just going to be able to reap the benefits, because it does not matter if it's ISIS capable or not. You can still use Wallet.
Yeah.
If it's NFC capable, then it'll work.
Right.
It just says ISIS compatible, and people go, "Oh, cool. No Wallet though. That sucks." And then if you actually go up and try it, Wallet works like a breeze.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought was funny
is
no secure element in the new Nexus 7. Who's ever tried to pay pass with a Nexus 7? It looks retarded. You put the Nexus 7 on the thing, and it covers the entire PayPass terminal, and then you've got to find the hotspot, and if you don't find the sweet spot, you don't find it at all.
And then you look like a complete idiot.
Yep. And then the other step is, if you're not near Wi-Fi, it still takes your payment. That's
I heard that.
And then you have to get home
offline
or to a Wi-Fi hotspot, and it will sync up and take your money from you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, though, McDonald's has just lost $7 if you never sync back up.
Yeah.
Or if you're being crazy and smart.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If you're being crazy and smart, I guess they've lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
One of everything.
Yeah. I can pay for it. I got you.
But
Speaking of all this,
I was going to destroy this Wi-Fi Android 7, or Nexus 7.
Yeah. Speaking of all this money transaction, we all have this ability to send money via Gmail.
I think I just barely got that ability.
Anybody use that, or
I have
over PayPal, or
you can send money using Gmail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that.
I went and set mine up, but I haven't actually used it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I just got it.
It goes through Google Wallet, so.
Yeah, right.
Does anybody see that as being maybe at some point someday a competitor, or even longer down the road a replacement to PayPal?
I think it's possible.
Definitely.
Everyone has Gmail.
I think my wife would only send transactions that way, if her friends would do it that way, because she has, I guess it's like, she interacts in small business type things. She has a whole bunch of not a whole bunch, 4 resin-based dolls, and so these are super posable, super cool. Just like she designs clothes for them, and she trades money for clothes and wigs and things like that. And all her community does the same thing, and they use PayPal right now. PayPal's like 3 steps to use my money, though. I have to get it out of PayPal. I have to wait 5 days if I'm not an authorized user. I have to get it back to my bank, and by that time, it took $4 to get, or 5 days to get $4 to a bank.
Right.
It's like that is barely worth anything. I mean, I don't know how Wallet deals with it, but at least with Wallet, if we set it up on her account and she had an NFC-enabled device, she could use her Wallet balance to pay for things at stores that she got from money from people. And it's like that way it works better. The other thing was, it's like I wouldn't be like weird about it, but hey, honey, can you borrow me some money?
Right.
Oh wow, that worked amazing. That hasn't happened yet, of course, the phone to phone, but that's obviously the next step if Wallet sticks around.
Absolutely, I agree.
That one got me the jitters inside. I got excited.
All right. I think we're going to. I mean, we've been going about 2 hours now. I think we're gonna bring it into our hat tips of the week.
Cool.
For if you guys don't know, Chris and I do this every week. It's optional if you guys want to do it, but we just recommend service that we think is good. Sometimes it's an app. We always try to relate it to the episodes. For this, we're doing Google stuff. So if you guys want to participate in that, feel free.
Yeah. I'll start off with my hat tip. There it is. There's my hat. So my hat tip is Google URL Shortener. You guys ever use this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been using this. It's great. You can also track how many people have clicked on your link, and you can see what's actually been seen, been viewed, whatever.
I didn't know that was existing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you go to Goo.gl, for some reason you have to sign in separately if you're already signed into your Google
makes
account.
Sense. They do the same thing through Wallet and a couple of the websites for security reasons.
Yeah,
so,
to make sure it's really you.
When you're logged in, you can see a list of all of the short URLs you've created, and you can see a little tracker next to it, how many times it's been clicked on.
I didn't know they did that. That's really cool. I
just like Bitly.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, it's really cool, but unfortunately you can't set up like a custom URL. Kind of, and it's like case sensitive, so it's kind of hard giving somebody the link. It's like, like you can't just like read it off like go to gol.gl / whatever. It's like you gotta be like uppercase L, lowercase 2.
Yeah.
2. Yeah. Lowercase 2.
Lowercase 2.
That's a thing.
Wow. Hold on. Let me look at my keyboard and see if I've got one of those somewhere. I'm not finding one, buddy.
I don't know. My mom draws her Q's pretty weird. That almost looks like a 2. So that could be a lowercase 2.
Lowercase 2. Oh, you mean lowercase q. I got you. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good little app. You know, and like Bitly, you know, I like the fact that it, you know, has all the tracking stats, and you know, it keeps. I don't know if there's any kind of a limit of how many links it'll keep that you've posted. I mean, you know, I don't know if it's a year, 1,000 links, or I don't know if there's any limit. You know, so it's always nice to, you know, if you're like, well, I know I use this shortener to post this link, you know, and you can go back and find it. Very
That's
helpful.
actually, I do that all the time. I know that I shared a short link for someone, and I know that it's in there. Now I have, let's see, there's probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe about 10 or so links on a page, and I have 105 pages.
Wow.
Wow, congratulations,
Yeah,
I
it's
suppose.
10 through each. So it keeps quite a few of them
At
on
least,
there.
let's do the math. At least 1,050.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty phenomenal.
Let me see if I can see when my last one, my oldest one in here was from December 2010,
Wow.
and it got
Yeah.
4 clicks.
Hooray!
Yes.
What was it too?
It was a Maps address.
Oh,
I didn't want to share the whole long URL from a shortcut in Maps, so I just made a short URL with Google.
Wow. I have 207 pages, and I didn't even know it.
I haven't even used it yet. So I'm still posting long URLs, everybody.
Yeah.
I've been using this for our blog and everything, just to kind of keep our URLs short and in the description on the YouTube videos, just so that they're all nice and short.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
For my hat tip, I have Google Cloud Print, which is beta right now. I believe when you go to it on the web, it says beta. But I want to get a cloud-ready printer just for this, because if you don't have a cloud-ready printer, you have to have it connect. You have to have the computer that it's connected to turned on in order to use it. But essentially, it allows you to print from any device, really, no matter where you are. Which there's so many times I want to print something from my phone, like an email, or a lot of the times a Drive document, and I have to log into the computer. And well, actually, my printer is broken, so I've actually been going to the library to print it. So.
Oops.
I'd love to get a cloud-ready printer and just stick it somewhere, have it plugged in, and just whenever I need anything, just print right to it from any device.
Yeah.
That is something I definitely recommend to people. If you already have a cloud-ready printer, you're probably already doing this. I mean, you already would have bought a cloud-ready printer, but it's pretty awesome, and I'm thinking of saving up for one.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I have a printer of the Epson Workforce 500, and the oldest model they have that's supported is the 545.
So you just missed it.
Yeah, probably
You had the 500, you need the 545.
the full cloud-ready version probably came out a couple months after I got mine.
Yeah. And you were telling me like your printer's wireless, and I originally thought like if you had a wireless printer you'd be good, but apparently even with a wireless printer you need the computer that networks the printer or whatever.
Yeah,
Still
so
turn it on.
if
you
I'm
need a
at
cloud-ready printer for it to work, not just wireless.
if I'm at work and I need or I want to print from my phone, then one of the computers on my home network that has access to it via cloud print has to be on that network.
Yeah.
If all my computers are off, then nothing's going to send to it.
Plus, it's the funniest, scariest app you'll ever have. I know where you are. Send.
Yeah.
Gotcha, Mom.
I printed something on accident to my work computer, my work printer. It was over the weekend. I came in on Monday and was like, oh, there that is.
There that is. That's awesome.
It was like a grocery list. We were about to leave, and I hit print, and I was like, why didn't it print? Let me try again. And then it printed. Then I got to work, and I was like, that's why it didn't print. Printed to the wrong. Printed it to work.
Funny.
Printed it to work.
That's awesome.
So do you guys have a tip or anything?
Yeah, I had one. Me.
Take it away.
Cool. So mine is for Ingress. It's a Google app, of course. Not a very well-known one, I suppose, but it's a Google app. So mine is I've got a hat tip that is a hat that has the Ingress logo on it. So it's a pretty cool app. Google X has made it. It looks like it's going to be integrating with Google Glass, because many members of the Ingress team have slowly been getting Google Glass and talking about, oh, this seems cool, and oh, this is cool, and I think a couple of them have accidentally shared Ingress stuff through Glass, and then just kind of been like, that was nothing, no worries, deleted, gone. So that's pretty cool. But one of the coolest things I feel about it is that it's really one of those things that can get you out and talking to people, and as nerds, we probably all kind of have that problem a little bit.
Yeah,
it's also
That's why I haven't played it. I have to go outside.
Like, it's social interaction.
Exactly.
What?
Can I submit a portal in my house?
Just check. It's like checking in every time.
I'll just be the protector of my home portal.
The bathroom sink or the toilet. That's.
You'd still get some level 8 jerk.
Someone's hacking my refrigerator.
My refrigerator is under attack. We need more mana. No, it's a pretty fun little app. When you finally get people that want to go out with you, it's a lot of fun. The other thing that's interesting about it is you're not sure if you're at the park. You're not sure if somebody is sending a text or attacking your portal you just put up. So it's kind of interesting because you see somebody across the wayside and you're like, "What are you doing?"
Glare at each other.
Yep. Yeah. And you're not sure if they're glaring at you because you're glaring at them because that's awkward, or if they're glaring at you because they're like, he's playing Ingress as well.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun. It's an interesting game.
Any interaction, Mike? Since you played, any interaction with law enforcement of any type? You know, I mean, I've read stories where I've
avoided that. I know not to go to the post office, police station, fire station, or
excuse me, but can I have a portal in here real quick?
Or the really bad ones. I mean, they're all pretty bad, but the really bad ones, the cemeteries. People go to cemetery. Well, yeah, cemeteries have tons of unique statues and interesting little things, and weirdly named people that have passed away. And so you get in there, and it's just not a good idea to go to a cemetery anytime after dark as it is. But
right.
On top of that, it's illegal. So it's a bad idea. But I've never run into any law enforcement. Then again, I don't play a lot.
I live in a real small town, and our whole what they call downtown is historical, basically. And we have an old courthouse, and then in front of it or behind it we have the new courthouse. And of course, the old courthouse is a portal. And I've walked by it, kept right on going, because it's like back in the back of the courthouse, and I'm not really wanting to go in the courthouse and just be standing around and trying to hack a portal and have somebody come up to me and say, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?" "Oh, don't mind me, I'm just hacking a portal real quick." Especially when the county jail is right across the street. Not really something I want to do. So yeah.
In cuffs in 2.5 seconds.
Right, but sir,
best time.
I just need to deploy this real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped at my post office my parents' post office. I think it was last Sunday, and just kept looking over my shoulder like, this is a federal building. It's closed today. This is not a good thing. So
I actually reinstalled it on my phone like a couple weeks ago, and then I saw when I first started playing it, there was like no portals around here.
Yeah.
And I reinstalled it and checked it out, and there are tons of them everywhere. And there's
just so many
right by my house. It's almost close enough that I can hack it from my living room, but I have to get up. I was like, if it was just a little bit over here, I could hack it from my house.
Right.
So I drove over there, but I drove when I was out picking up dinner, and I was like, I'm gonna stop by that park, and it's closed, so there's like security guards walking around. So I like pull over to the side, and I'm like this, and then I look up and I see them like kind of walking over, looking at me, and I was like, never mind.
Exactly.
I'll play this game some other time.
That's great.
I don't want them coming over. What are you doing?
I have to leave a little early, I have to leave a little early, guys, so I'm going to catch you all later.
All right. Have a good one.
See you, Mike.
Do either of you want to do a hat tip before we sign off?
I've got one. Something that we probably all use on a regular basis, since we're all Android phone users, and that's the Play Store. I live in the Play Store. Always, you know, it's funny. We just had a big discussion about this here the other day, about how you can go search for something. Let's say launcher, looking for a launcher app, and you just come up with 2, 3, 4, 5 different launcher apps, but then you can come up with hundreds and hundreds of things that have nothing to do with launchers at all. And it's a good way to find different apps that you probably never would have known about, never would have thought of to search for. You know, some of them are great, some of them are not so great. You know, and especially with what we do on Android Dissected, you know, reviews of anything and everything. We do a lot of apps, icons, games, stuff like that. So, you know, the Play Store is, while it's organized to a degree, overall it's really not organized at all. But there's advantages to that, to it not being organized, is that, you know, you can search for something and find a little bit of what you're looking for and a whole lot more. You know, I don't know, I can't tell you how many apps I have found along the way that I never would have found if I wouldn't have been looking for something completely different. So definitely something I can't, you know, I can't live without.
I've gotten carried away in the Play Store. I'll
Yeah.
browse it on my computer. I look for one thing, and then I see other related apps. I'm like, ooh, install. Like, by the time I get to my phone, it's like a list of like 20 different things. Now I got to remember to try them all.
That's what always gets me, related apps or suggested apps, once you've already got the app you want. You know, you
Right.
scroll down the bottom after the reviews, and it's just, then that's, I have like 10 apps downloaded when I meant to download one.
Exactly. Yep. So that's definitely my hat tip.
All right, sounds good. Are we done for the week? You got
I
something?
think so. Do you have a?
All right then.
Good.
So I guess if you guys ever want to be on an episode again, you know, check out our schedule, see what episodes you're interested in. We'd be more than happy to have you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank
Joseph,
you very much for having us.
yeah, definitely. Joseph, Chris, both of y'all, thank you very, very much. Greatly
Thank you
appreciate
guys. Thank you guys for coming, for joining.
it. No problem.
Fun.
Very happy to have you.
Everybody have a good weekend. Stay safe over the holiday.
Happy Labor Day.
Tip
Yep.
my hat to you
Labor Day.
guys.
All right. Y'all take care, man.
All right.
See you
All
later.
right. Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.